Okay, so today's episode is how has COVID-19 changed you? How have you learned to deal with the life you have now post COVID-19? What are the lessons you've taken through the lockdown? What are the new lifestyle habits that you've taken up due to the lockdown?
It draws me back to some of the pandemics that happened previously. So there was a certain pandemic that happened, and a lot of people were dying. People just kept dying, and men who were ideally it's a pandemic affects both men and women.
Yeah.
But we see that the world we're in, men are usually the ones who go out front and sort of combat whatever it needs to be combated.
Yeah.
And a lot of them kept dying. Women were losing husbands, sons.
Yeah.
And something that happened that was a big transformation for a lot of people through that generation was the uptake of women now taking charge in the front lines. So women now decided they were going to not just stay home, they were going to contribute on the front lines.
Yeah.
Some of them had to become medical personnel. Some of them
soldiers.
learned, even if they were not doing the medical things, they were supporting in the kitchen. They were just in the spaces there, supporting with care, injuries, provision of food, water, whatever the case was.
Yeah, it's. I think if
It
you
was
relate
impressive to see.
if you relate it to now, it was. I found something similar because the normal setting before COVID-19, people would go to work, come back late at night. They really didn't know what was going on at home. They didn't know how food came about. They didn't know how the bills were paid. Men, let me say my people, for example, and being at home you had no choice. You had to be close to the kids. You had to see what your wife is doing. You had to see what your siblings are doing. You had to pay attention. You had no choice. So even for those for people or families who were victims of the COVID-19, who had someone who used to do some certain things no longer available due to illness and the likes, people had to step up. So if my sibling was down with COVID-19 and he was the one who used to go to the market, for example, other people had to step up to go to the market or step up to do medical supplies or step up to do something. So if you relate the two, yes, a lot of people had to pick up habits or do things or do responsibilities that they would usually not find themselves doing. So if you look at it, I think we're probably all better for all of this. It's only someone who was absolutely not interested in life's issues that will probably not pick up something to learn at this point.
There was a survey, and we asked all kinds of people to send in their responses. And these were the questions that we asked, and these are the kind of responses that we've gotten. Dr. George, I just sent you a link on Teams to check the polls that we asked.
Before COVID-19, I never knew what Teams were.
Right.
Until COVID-19 happened.
Right. That's a good one. Kudos to Microsoft. So we asked people how they would rate their understanding of technology apps. And a whole lot of people, about 42%, said they understood new apps. And there's the divide between those who understand these apps at a high scale is pretty encouraging, because now a lot of companies depend solely on
the
apps that they use to power hybrid work.
Yes.
Work is done physically, but you're trying to stay in touch with those who are remote, which is something good to see. It was exciting to see. Here, check out, please look through the screen to see all the answers that we have. So in here, we have just about 12% who don't understand apps completely. And then the percentage for the rest who still stick to the old ways of communicating, paper, print, and WhatsApp and the rest. A lot of them.
WhatsApp is still a little, but there are people who just stick to paper, print.
I can't share my screen on WhatsApp, sorry.
No, WhatsApp wasn't made to be a meeting platform. But then a lot of people are in this part of the world. We are still very, very. There's this rigidity about embracing new stuff. So if you're in the corporate space, you definitely had no choice. you had to learn.
You had
If
to
not,
learn.
they will fire you.
And it's good to see that the uptake was
So yes, the uptake,
encouraging.
Yes, it
It
was.
was quite encouraging.
I mean, it was
But would you
doing-
consider WhatsApp as a professional tool for work?
It's one of it's not completely professional, but if you're talking about your boss reaching you at any time of the day,
It's always
WhatsApp is one of the places where they'll tell you, I just sent you a mail.
Mm-hmm.
Go to your mail or go to Teams, you have a meeting, or if you're dropping notices for meeting, so WhatsApp it moved from just being the chatting conversational to becoming some semi-formal. But there were times WhatsApp groups were set up. There were times where joint group WhatsApp call had to happen for maybe sub teams or the like. So WhatsApp, you can't completely rule it out. It just evolved in some of the functions, and you could see with some of the updates that they had to include the fact that some people, especially smaller businesses, maybe not the big corporations, but smaller businesses used it for some level of meeting.
It makes a lot of sense. We asked a few friends if they preferred drive-in cinemas or just to go into the cinemas themselves or to watch movies on the laptop.
Both know the answer.
What's your answer, Dr. George?
Driving, I never could relate. I mean, I would just drive in or just be in my car and then be eating the popcorn and be looking at the
Have
screen.
a blanket. It's really cool. Have a blanket and then there's a big screen.
So African, please.
Come on.
I'd rather go in. There's a cinema experience. You will not get it from sitting in your car with blankets covered and eating popcorn.
Guess what our audience chose as a preferred option?
What did they choose?
Laptops.
Yes, I can relate.
Because of the pandemic, I would say I watched a lot of movies on my laptops, but I don't like a cinema because it feels like it's another enclosed space with people.
But then a lot of people love cinema. So if they had to choose between the drive-in cinema and the actual cinema,
I'd prefer a drive-in cinema because that's cool and that's not Nigerian. That's not typically.
Are you Nigerian?
Oh, more Nigerian than me. But I'm willing to expand my own tastes for things. Thanks to COVID-19, I'd never have experienced it if it didn't happen. Because it happened in COVID-19 lockdown in Lagos, particularly on the island where there are a lot of parks and spaces, and some of these event hosts came up with the ideas of instead of having a cinema, you have a drive-in cinema, and people can just come
drive through. We had drive-through eateries.
Yes, the uptake was really high,
and it was really high. People just wanted to step out. So any reason to step out, I would gladly step. We had concerts that were driving. Also, you just stay in your car and then.
You know something that struck me? The concerts that happened. The kind of music that we got exposed to. I discovered so many artists through the lockdown.
A lot of artists blew.
They just had such an impact. Like I could relate to certain songs through that period.
True.
You know,
a lot of artists released songs that talked about
the pandemic, the lifestyle changing your entire life from what you used to know.
And then even the fact that you had to stay back. If you were off to work regularly, you might not have the time to pay attention
to music,
But we were indoors. You had absolutely nothing else to do apart from maybe hard work, but the things you were not paying attention to, you were going to pay attention to them. So I can understand why some certain kind of music tastes for a lot of people began to change and grew during the period.
So let me ask you, do you like working remotely? Or you miss the office?
I miss interacting with people. I'm a people person. So remotely, there's a lot. People are not talking about the discipline. There's a lot of discipline that goes into working remotely.
Yes, absolutely.
It is very easy. And let me shake this table. And we are a lot on this table. You're looking at me. You have that online course that you promised yourself at the start of COVID-19 that you were going to take. This is 2022.
Shots fired.
March 2022. And we have not finished that course.
Why did you say we? Why did you
because
say
I'm part
we?
of them. I know COVID-19 started and I started this course that I was going to go hard, go in and
yeah.
And I still ask myself yesterday, like, bro, how far that
Let me be your conscience. Here, George. Here you are. Here you are.
I'm ashamed of myself.
Ah, goodness.
I hope I would go back. I mean, might come back next episode and I'm telling you that I'm not. But yes, that happened a lot. It takes a lot of discipline to work remotely. And It's easier to be more accountable when you're around people than when you're alone. That sounds like motivational speech. Wow. It's easier to be more accountable when you are with people than when you're alone. Dr. George, 2022.
So second, nature has taken over everyone. Nature like new slangs for corporate conversations, new habits. People who never used to book online, book flights online, buy food online now do that. Your dad, your brother, your uncle, your husband, your boyfriend, your side boo now has meetings online because those exist.
Why only side boo? Why not side chick?
We're talking about those ones who wear jackets and shorts.
Oh, wow.
I mean, for the ladies, I'm sorry, ladies. I'd expose us a little bit.
Please go ahead. I'm listening to you.
Should I not?
Please go ahead.
I'm thinking
I
really
shook
hard.
tables earlier, so please, let's make it equal.
I've seen this funny reel of a lady who was trying to get physical with her spouse. And her video was on. Everyone on the team.
And there was a meeting going on.
There was a meeting going on.
Oh, wow.
How ridiculous is that? But yes, we ladies, sometimes you get caught unawares.
Yeah.
With your wigs off and your face not looking as like you used to. Something interesting happened at my office.
Your wig was off?
No, well, not me.
Are you
Hopefully
sure?
It never happens. Except I'm paid for it. Well, there's this lady who always looks fantastic when she comes to the office. You never catch a flaw. She's, in fact, you think she walks out of a studio just to get into the office.
And it happened.
And yes, it happened that day. I don't think she had a good day that day. And everybody actually had to pay attention. Are you okay? She looked so different. She wasn't as glamorized as she used to. And she was absolutely fine. She just said she didn't care anymore. She just wanted to have the meeting and be done with.
You don't tire.
She don't tire. And that's it from us. This is definitely something you're going to see more of. Hyspace with Hygeia is your safe space, your number one stop to catch up on life, to relax, to get in tune with yourself and get yourself up to speed on what's going on in our own space, the Hyspace.
Definitely. And you have your pilot and, of course, your co-pilot. And as I'd always say, you're safe in this space with Hyspace.
How has COVID-19 impacted you? Tell us in the comments. You can tag us on social media. Use any of our social media platforms, the one that's most comfortable for you. I find that I'm still very, very driven by picture-led platforms.
Yeah, because you like to take pictures.
Yes, I do.
Finally, the benefits. But then you can also share your comments in the comment section. Tell us how COVID-19 has impacted you. What is that one thing that you learned or you added to yourself during COVID-19?
Absolutely. Interested to see.
Definitely, we can't wait.
And that's it from us on Hyspace.
My name is Alicia, your host, and with me, my co-host.
My name is Dr. George, as usual, always dropping gems.
And from us, it's bye-bye.